What does a residential water meter look like outside of the meter box, outside of the meter yoke? Simply put, this box here, this says it's a 5/8. This is for residential. And as one notes, the arrow here, this meter here would sit in, or clock, whatever one wants to refer it to, water meter, would sit inside of the meter yoke. So there's a Ford Mueller, and I'm sure they're proprietary. I'm not certain on that, but one may want to check with your manufacturer and see what they say, and um, they can tell you more accurate information than myself. But so this, I'm not sure if this will fit into the Mueller or the Ford or what other brand, but this one says 5/8 here. As one note, you see an arrow, so the water would go in this direction here. So I'm assuming this thread here would be a 5/8. Okay, if we turn this thing around, this is the older meter, and I like the older meter. The reason I like the older meter is simply if you were on your house side facing the street, um, this is probably what you would be looking at. The water company may read these numbers here. This may be your water bill. I'm not sure. So, but keep in mind now, this little diamond here, if one has everything turned off in the house, it's a good diagnostic tool. So again, you see the little gear that kind of looks like the little gear on your phone, for your settings for your phone. So if you go into the house and turn everything off, washing machines off, kitchen sinks off, shower, tub, toilets not running, etc. You come out here, this diamond should not be moving. Okay, if this diamond's moving a little bit, stops, moves a little bit more, that could insinuate your toilet could be leaking. And people say, well, that's not a big deal. I only hear it every 10 to 15 minutes. Actually, it's one of the bigger things that will run your water bill up. So then at that point, you would need to call a plumber to get the plumber um, to have the plumber to repair your stuff. So, but when everything's off, this diamond should not be moving. Okay, when if you go over there and say you're looking at the meter, you've got the lid and you flip the lid off here, and you go out there to your water meter and you're facing the street looking at the meter here, and you go to your hose pipe, turn it on just a little bit, you'll notice this thing starts to rotate. Once it starts to rotate, now if you go back to your hose pipe and turn it on full throttle, it'll start spinning faster. That would be like you have forced a leak and kind of simulated what a leak would be if a pipe had broken underneath the house. So the reason I like these meters better than the newer digital ones. Now somebody can add that in the comments. I have not quite figured out how to determine a leak off of the digital meter. If somebody knows that, if they can spell it out in a 1, 2, 3, 4 method, in the comment section, that would be helpful. But this old, I'm not sure if it's analog, but one can see here 5/8 by 3/4. So when it comes in from the street side, it comes in over here, exits here, and these meters here. Um, this particular meter or clock would sit inside of the meter yoke. On this side, there would be a bushing here, a rubber bushing here, and on this side, there would be a rubber bushing. If you do not put the bushings in, if you ever get it loose or it comes loose and the bushing comes out, and you do have a leak and you're unable to stop the leak, then at this point, you may you may have lost your bushing, so you may need to put another bushing in. And then you would actually take this, and this is simply threaded, and you would actually screw it up here. So once this is screwed up here, okay, on the house side, there's going to be, you'll have the thing here, and it should have a 3/4, because this says 3/4, and I'm not certain exactly what. I know the 5/8 and then the 3/4. So once you bump this down to a swing check valve, and a swing check valve is like the trap door, the water goes in one direction and it prevents the water from coming back to your house side, like the old trap door. For instance, one sees in a movie, they step on it and they fall through the door, but yet the door closes. That's kind of an analogy for a swing check valve. So come off of here would be your fitting, then you would have a swing check valve, and then the swing check valve, and then it would have a 3/4 most likely female fitting, and then you can thread it and put your water pipe to the house. But anyway, this is a an overview of what an older water meter looks like. I like the older ones better. And again, if I can interject, if somebody knows how to determine if you've got a leak with the digital ones, if they would certainly appreciate that in the comments, that would be very helpful. And I would certainly appreciate that. But if everything's off in the house in this little diamond, so and if this diamond's spinning, this is somehow it's going to end up turning, so you could have a leak. So make sure when everything's turned off in the house, this is totally stopped as it is now. If it starts to move, you may have a leak somewhere. So again, water meter for a residential home. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.